Hello everyone, welcome back to Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. My name is Tara. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, you know you're already part of the Grateful Gang. Sorry guys, I'm not really into it right now, to be honest. I'm not really here for it. But I do want to share because I want to have some memory of this, as well as letting y'all know what's going on. So today is July 27th, and yesterday was the 26th, and yesterday the way that things went down yesterday with this house bid really, like, I'm still trying to figure out what the lesson is, so maybe y'all can help me. And it's like 6:42 in the morning, so there's no sun out, there's no light, so if the video looks real weird, I'm sorry. Let's get started. So I went to go see this house in a location that I really want, and I was excited. I was like, oh, finally something in my location, in my budget. Y'all know now, or if you don't know, now my budget is up to $175, and that's where I kind of want to cap it off. $180 the most, but this was like under $150. It was $147. I had put a bid in for $151. Y'all know I'm doing FHA with the Georgia Dream program. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I see the house, and it's funny because I saw 3 houses on that day, and out of the 3 I paid the least attention to that one. It wasn't until I was running back the really quick video that I took of it that I was like, why did I disregard it? And then I realized I disregarded it because the first house I saw was so put together and done, but it had issues with the sidewalk. Y'all might have seen that video or not. You may have not. But yeah, it was so well done that I kind of saw this one and was like, it's not so well done. I don't feel like dealing with it. And then when it all came down to it, in the end, after reviewing the 3 houses, I was like, oh, I should really put a bid on this one because it has such good bones and such good potential. And the homeowner was actually home, and I'm not going to say her name, even though we're still cool now. Let's call her Miss R. Miss R was home, and we were talking, and she was super sweet and blah, blah, blah. I got home, realized I didn't get a really good picture, and so decided I was going to go back the next day and ask her to go see it again, just to make sure, because I was like, I think I want to put a bid in on this one, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me go back and go look and see if I'm like completely, where are they not going? I don't know, completely okay with putting a bid in on that one. And so then I went back, and she was super nice. She let me in. She was like, oh, because there was a lamp at her house that I really liked, and she calls me the lamp lady, and she's like, if you get the house, then I'll leave you the lamp, and so blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, cool, nice. It was like this vintage looking lamp. And so I went back, looked at the house again, went through it, and yes, it needed work, and you'll eventually see a video of it. It was going to be a longer video because I literally took like a 12-minute video because it was that detailed. I was trying to make sure, but it won't be on this video because it'll be too long. But it was good. Like, I was like, oh, this has good bones if you don't look at the paint and all the other crap that was happening. Okay, so decided. Then as I was going to do that, another house popped up in the same neighborhood up the street. So I went to go look at that. That was more of like a middle unit because this was like attached, but it was at the end, and it was attached on the other side by a garage, so you didn't really share any walls. So that was really nice as well. The other one was in the middle, but the same thing, attached on both sides by garages. This one didn't have a garage. Mine, the one I was gonna put an offer on, the one I put a bid on, had a carport that could be converted into a garage. The other one had a garage. So I was gonna go look at that one, and then I had an appointment the next day for 1 o'clock, and it didn't work out because by the time before I was supposed to go get my appointment, they're updating the listing saying that there was already a cash offer as well as 2 or a few conventional offers on it, and literally that thing went pending the next day. So I didn't even bother, you guys, going to put the offer in. It didn't even make any sense. So I put the offer in, the original one I'm telling y'all about. And then the next day I went back to her house because we're cool now. And I actually woke up that morning. This is the boxes in the back. Y'all gonna know why. I actually woke up that morning and something said, you know, she lives by herself. You should go ask her if she wants help packing up her things. So I went back after work that day and I said, hey, you know, if I get your house or I don't get your house, I'll help you pack up your house because you're by yourself and I know your family's like an hour away. I said, if you want the help. And she was like, it's so funny. She was talking to God about it, blah, 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 this and that. And cool, she would like the help. So I said, all right, well, we'll see if we can get some boxes. And I forgot to call Publix early enough. Actually, I need to call them this morning to see if they could hold the boxes for us. So I just ended up going to Walmart to get some boxes instead. Cool. Boxes in the back. So then Monday comes. The whole weekend goes by and she's like, they were supposed to make a decision on Sunday, but her broker pushed it up, whatever. And she did tell me on that Friday that she knows that her broker doesn't want her to take an FHA. That he really does. He thinks they're a pain in the butt and he didn't want to deal with them. So I already knew I was like behind the gun on that. And then she was like, but I told him if he goes with an FHA to go with yours because they had more than one FHA offer on the house. So I was like, cool. So Monday comes and my realtor reaches out while I'm at work and she sends a text message showing the interaction like that the guy's like, oh, they ended up going with another offer. So I get sad, like literally there are tears. Like I'm like, this is so frustrating at work. So I go to the bathroom to like shed a couple tears in the bathroom and pull myself back together. And I come back to my desk and I see that Miss R has called me because now I have her cell phone number. She has my cell phone number because I'm helping her pack. We're communicating that way. And she calls me and so I missed her and I called her right back and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. I really want you to have the house. And I was talking to my other mortgage lender and she says, since I haven't signed any of the paperwork yet, find out what your financing is and what you're doing and blah, 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 and see if we can still get you the house. So now here I am crying again, like, oh my God, is it actually going to work out? It's somebody who really wants me to have their house and knows that, you know, that I actually have plans for it and stuff. So I was like, oh my God, here's a story for God's glory coming through. Here we go. So then I spoke to her. She asked me to speak to her lender who's getting her house. So I speak to her and she's like, oh my God, it's because you have not only the FHA, but you have the Georgia Dream. I'm telling you right now, as a lender, anytime we see people coming through with Georgia Dream and FHA, it's like an extra layer of work for us, and it takes too long to close. And with all these conventional and cash offers out here, no one really picks that. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, that kind of sucks because it helps me out with the down payment. Not like I didn't save, but it keeps money in my pocket and blah, blah, blah. But this is what she said. So she's like, if you can get a conventional loan before like 5 and submit it, then I think she will take your offer. So I said, okay, cool. So I went through the whole thing, you guys, of getting, now I already had a conventional loan, but my realtor didn't want to use that one because it was in California. And she was like, we really want to use somebody who's local because it will help us get through the appraisal and inspection and all that sooner. So she knew somebody that was in the same bank as the one in Cali, and so we're trying to contact him. He was in the class. He finally gets back to us, and then my original lender says to me, oh yeah, we can get you. Now I've asked her multiple times if I could qualify for a conventional loan, but I think she thought I wanted a conventional loan with like help and financing. So my realtor emailed her and said, hey, can she get a conventional loan without any financing? And she was like, yes. And I was like, what the hell? Like, have I just been answering the question wrong the whole dang time? So anyway, she's working on that. Then the guy with the other loan places were calling me back. And I'm like, well, I'm going to work with the local one I already have. And I think he got a little pissed off because he's like, well, why are you calling me if you already have a local lender? Blah, blah, blah. So off the phone with him. Y'all, I spent the whole day, like, I feel like my whole work day yesterday was not productive at all. It was a good thing that my computer system was down because it kind of didn't make me feel so bad because I was like, I still would have been waiting and whatever. But I spent most of my day on the phone with people. Okay, that was Aggie. And then what happened was I ended up having to have my credit score run again because then the other guy had to run it because my original lender, she did come back with a conventional, but her conventional was 5% down with 3 months of reserves. And that house, after you go conventional, the interest rate is higher, which is why I didn't want to do it in the first place. the payment was still doable, but the closing costs, because I'd be getting no help with financing, closing costs and the closing costs and all that came up to like $15,000, and y'all know I only saved 12. So I'm like, I can't do that and then have 3 months of reserve. Like, it's not going to work. I thought we were going to come back with a 3%, because the people in California had given me my quote and it was 3%. And we were going to go back in as conventional at the original price of $147, so we weren't even going to do the $151. So theirs came back, but the California people had a higher interest rate, but I only had to put 3%. And the 3% one, the quote was like right where I needed it to be. It was like 11,000 something to put down, and nothing about reserves. So I'm like, okay, that would have been what I expected my other lender to come back with, not, and she didn't. So then I had to try and call the Don guy back, and he wasn't picking up the phone. And so then my realtor texted him, and then all of a sudden he was responsive. I think he was annoyed because he's like, you're just calling me as backup. Well, you are my backup. I'm sorry. It's business. So this time it's like 2 or 4 o'clock, and Miss Rose is calling me, and Miss Rose is texting me like I'm trying to hold them off, but now they're asking if I can sign, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So I appreciate her so much for trying. But then what happened was she completely, now Miss Rose, I'm calling her Miss Rose now. Miss Rose, she unfortunately has like a problem seeing, and this is another reason why I went to help her pack. Not that she can't see, but she's not allowed to drive, so she couldn't go and get anything. But she does have issues with her eye, and she can't sign her stuff on the internet or like on her phone. So she was using her niece, which she forgot. She told them to send the paperwork to her niece in case, you know, so if she was gonna get it on her phone, she wouldn't be able to see it to read it. Send it to her niece to sign. So all this time that I've had my credit run again, I'm trying to get another conventional loan set up and all that. Her niece had gotten the paperwork and signed the paperwork for the cash buyer. I was like, oh my God. I just did all this work to not even get the house. Y'all, I'm not even gonna, every time I think about it, I just want to cry. I can't win. And I'm just like, are you serious right now? And she left me a voicemail because I was on the phone with my realtor when she called me back. And she was just like, I am so sorry. I know your head must be I'm so sorry. I did not remember that I told them to send it to my niece. I've been over here holding off signing, and she signed it. And, you know, I can't be mad at her because I did tell them that in the beginning and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, at this point, I hear the voicemail, but I don't even want to acknowledge it or say anything. And then I'm like, you know, well, at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm leaving work. Let me know if you're home, so that I can come help you pack and whatever. She's not home. Oh, she doesn't think today. Now I think she's just avoiding me because she feels bad. But she did say something about running an errand the last time we text. So there's that. And I'm just, I don't know. You guys, I am so numb today. Like, I don't want to talk to people. I don't even want to be around people. I cried at least 3 times yesterday because I don't understand why it feels like I had hope and then it was like just ripped away from you. And I did so much. I ran my credit score again, and then this guy that ran the credit score again, he's not even responsive. Like, the only reason I will work with you is because you would be able to give me a lower percentage. Like, because to me, you're not so responsive at all. And I get where he's coming from. He's like, he didn't want to be the backup plan, but I'm like, at the same time, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so the moral of the story is I didn't get the house after doing all that work. I didn't get my credit for no reason. And my sister would say, she'd be like, well, at least now you're logistically set up for a conventional loan. And in my head, I really don't care for it because I don't want to pay the higher percentage. I don't want to pay whatever on the stupid conventional loan. I don't want to pay the higher rate. I don't want to pay all the money out of my pocket because why should everybody else freaking get help with Georgia Dream? And because these people don't want to take their time to go through the inspection and get a real life appraisal, do I have to suffer? Like, I think that's not right. But whatever, I guess I'm gonna have to do what I want to do. I have to do. It's all really leaving a bad taste in my mouth, and at this point I really just want to get an apartment and just be done with it. I'm tired of everything at this point, and that's how I really feel. But that was my story time, and that is definitely what happened to me. sorry, y'all had to do that because the cop was right there. That is definitely what happened to me, and I am just, I'm over it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm over it. My Ford friend Kay, she constantly Kayla, she stays sending me pictures of things to look at, and I like glance. I don't even want to look at anything. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I don't see the point. Like, I don't see the point of looking at houses if I'm always going to get beat out by an investor. What is the point of looking at houses if I'm going to get beat out by a conventional offer? Why do I have to, like, I don't understand. I just have to get through my mind that I'm going to have to use the whole down payment. So it might just be like, I'm not going to look until I save more money, because if I'm going to have to put down more money, I don't want to not have any extra money. Like, it's so stupid. That's how I feel. It's probably not stupid and I'm being dramatic, but I feel like it's dumb. It's like the whole world is against me. That's where my head is at right now. And it's like, just, what's the point? And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure other people out there feel the same way. Like, you just can't win in this market. And I live at home, and that's amazing and not amazing at the same time. Like, it's amazing to be able to have the opportunity to be home and be able to save, but it's also annoying because you don't have your own space. Like, I'm an older person. I would like my own space, and it's easy for people to be like, oh, well, you know, enjoy it, save your money. You're not there. You're not there. You don't get to just do, you know what I mean? Like, my parents aren't overbearing and I'm not in a bad situation. It's just the point of, I would like my own space and my own things and be able to cook what I want and do what I want and come in and not have to think about anybody else sometimes. Maybe that makes me selfish, but it is what it is. But anyway, that's what it is. Now I'm getting negative and I don't want to be this person. But that was my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing with this thing anymore. But have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Remember, it's faith over fear. I don't even want to finish that statement. All right, guys. Bye.